Hello, welcome to the 10k special. Also voice reveal, I guess. I know my voice probably sounds strange to a lot of you. I'm from New Zealand. Anyway, I don't really concern myself too much with numbers, but this is a very cool milestone to be able to reach, so thank you. Thank you to everyone who watches my videos and appreciates the things that I make. So for the special, I'm going to be ranking some Haikyuu ships. Quick disclaimer. This is just my personal opinion. You can ship whatever you want. Please don't attack me if I put a ship that you like in the lowest tier. It's not a personal attack against you. We all have different tastes. Please don't come for me. Thank you. With that being said, let me introduce you to my tier list. I did have a look at some templates online, but I didn't really like any of them, so I just made my own. There'll be a link to it in the description if you want to use it yourself. Okay, I've spent enough time talking, let's get to the ships. I have all the popular ones and some interesting rare pairs. If I missed any that you wanted me to rank, just leave in the comments and I'll tell you my rank. They're mostly in alphabetical order, but I did mix a few up for reasons. Our first ship, we have Asanoya. This is a good, solid ship. I'm gonna put it straight in Hard Eyes. Now, this is very canon. Whenever I'm watching Haikyuu, I'm like, this is canon. Whenever Noya goes, Asai-san! I'm like, yes, you call out to your boyfriend! And you know that scene at the very end of season 4? This is not a spoiler, by the way. They're watching their game on the TV. They show Kyoko, and Tanaka and Noya are like, ah, Kyoko-san, so pretty! And then it changes to Asahi, and Noya's like, ah, Asai-san da! You look like you could murder someone! That right there is some bisexual energy. Okay, next we have Arankita. This is an interesting one. I don't see it very often, but when I was watching season 4, I was like, yes, I can see this. I feel like I could get into it. This is a solid, has potential. I want to see more of this. Next we have Daisuga. Oh, Daisuga, my first love. This has been living in my head, rent-free, for a long time. I love Suga so much. If you didn't already know, if you couldn't tell, my profile picture is a gender bend of Suga. My outro at the end, Suga closing the door. I just love Suga. I mostly only like Daichi because Suga loves Daichi. When I watch Haikyuu, I am surprised at how not canon it is, because I've got it in my head that it's very, very canon. When I watch it, like, they hardly interact like just the two of them. There's always Asahi or some other group, or, because like, Suga's usually a cheerleader on the side, and Daichi's usually in the game like the whole time, so they like don't interact. I'm like, hello? Say hi to your boyfriend. Do something! I'm gonna tell you the story of how I got into Daisuga. I saw a Tumblr post like ages ago. If I can find it, I'll put it on the screen. You know who would have really good, loving, intimate times? Daichi and Suga. And I was like, yes they would! This was a time when I had long since given up on trying to read BL manga, but you know, I got really sick of the tropes, and I was just like, can I just have a happy couple where they both like each other, please? But Daisuga was the first ship that I was like, oh my god, they love each other. Okay, let's move on. Our next ship is Inotana. Now, it's alright. It's alright. You know, it has potential. I'm gonna put it in has potential. It's alright. I headcanon Inoshita as Arrow Ace, as you will have seen if you watch my videos. Tanaka looks like a scary straight man. When I'm actually watching Haikyuu, I'm like, oh, he's not that bad. It's not that bad. He's fine. But when I'm not watching Haikyuu, I'm like, oh, scary straight man. I don't really think Enotana really suits Tanaka's personality, like he's very straight. I can see their dynamic in a relationship. Like if I didn't headcanon Inoshita as our ace, then I might be able to ship it. Next we have Iwaoi. I quite like Iwaoi. It's grown on me. It's gonna be a hard eyes. I didn't used to be that into it. I don't really know why. I guess I didn't like the characters that much. I don't know, Oikawa is a weird one. Like when you first watch Haikyuu, you're like, I don't like Oikawa. Why do people like Oikawa? He's a brat. But like, I guess once you've seen it a couple of times, or you've watched the whole thing, you finish it, like you're looking back, like, he's actually a pretty interesting character. He's a pretty cool character. I mean, he has grown on me. Now I can see that it can be very cute when you don't make it toxic. Like, yes, they tease each other, they aggressively care about each other, but they care about each other. They're childhood friends, they love each other. Iwaizumi's not abusive. It can be very cute. But I used to have this idea that all the ships that had their numbers next to each other, so they would stand next to each other in their lineups, they were canon. So like most of the ships from Karasuno, they would be like 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, so they would be canon. But Iwaoi was 1 and 4, so I was like, they're not canon. And Bokuwaka was 4 and 5, so they're definitely canon, even though the Fukurodani numbering system makes no sense. Like, the more I try to make sense of it, the less it makes sense. Even though Bokuto is the captain. I know he wants to be number 4 because 4 is Ace's number and he's the ace before he's the captain. Why is Akashi a second year, number 5? But Kinoshita, is that his name? No, that's not a name. Konoha. Why is Konoha, who's the 3rd year, number 7? And I feel like they're missing so many numbers. Like, isn't someone like in the teens? And I'm like, you don't have that many players. What's going on? Who organized this? Anyway, let's move on. Next, we have Ken Hina, or Hina Ken. I'm not sure. I mean, I can kind of see where you're coming from. Their friendship is cute, but I don't think it would be romantic. But, you know, I have nothing against it. I have nothing against it. It's fine. Next we have Kinkuni. Well, this is an interesting one. I feel like it has potential. I'm gonna put it in has potential. I feel like it has potential. They seem like good friends. They could be cute. I still stand by Agenda Kunimi, by the way. Like, just look at that face. Does that look like the face of someone who cares about gender to you? No. Kiyotana. I don't like Kiyotana. It's a straight into the no. I don't like Kiyotana. First off, why would you ship a straight ship? I don't get the point. To me, shipping is a way of creating stories and relating to characters in a way that I know is very unlikely to happen in a story. But if it's straight, like, you don't have to imagine it. I don't want to spend my spare time thinking about straight things. I'm already forced to think about straight things in the media and real life all the time. I don't need that in my spare time. Now, mild manga spoiler ahead, but like, yeah, pretty much everyone knows this by now. Whenever I mention Kyoko or Tanaka, I get people telling me, it's canon, they're married in the manga. Now, I disagree. It feels forced. It's just a random hetero romance forced in there. In my opinion, in the canon, like, of the main story pre-time skip, Kyoko does not like Tanaka. Like, yeah, she doesn't absolutely hate him hitting on her constantly, but I don't think she's secretly in love with him. No way. This is pushing the idea that if you just keep pushing, you'll eventually get the girl. Please stop. I don't like that. It just doesn't sit right with me. However, I will give you that Tanaka would treat her right. That's the only redeeming feature. Kiyoyachi, now this is where it's at. Solid hard eyes. Excuse me. Kiyoyachi deserves rights. They get along so well. Yachi is a fucking gay disaster. What a mood. I need more good woman-loving women ships in my life. Side note, Shira is so good. I know there's not a lot of opportunity for it in Haikyuu because there's so little female characters, but I also feel like there's a bit of lesbophobia mixed in there, like in fandoms with a lot of straight girls shipping gay men. Like, why is no one shipping Kiyoyachi? They're great! I need to see more cute fan art and videos about them. This is a formal request. Please and thank you. Okay, Bokuaka, they are the cutest, hands down. I love them. It was only for a short time, but they have lived in my head rent-free. They recently overtook Daisuga, and I was like, oh, this is just a phase. Like, I have moments where I'm more into one ship, but Daisuga is always there in the background. Like, they are the supreme. So I just thought that was that. I thought it was a phase. But it turns out it was a transition to Bokuaka Kuroken, straight and living in my head rent-free. This is my new obsession. I have been thinking about this ship for like the past couple of months. It is my new favourite. I still love you, Daisuga, but this is just on a whole nother level. If you've seen my last video, you know I'm starting to push my Bokuaka Kuroken agenda. You're welcome. I don't really know how this started. Like, I was into Bokuaka, I became more into Kuroken. I was also kind of into Bokuro, but whenever I'd see Akashi or Kenma, I was like, you're in love with them too! I don't know, I might have seen something somewhere about Bokuaka Kuroken all as an OT4, all as one ship. And I got lost in the rabbit hole of fan art and fanfics. Still looking at fanfics. I could have included each pairing within Bokuaka Kuroken, but then like half of this would be me talking about Bokuaka Kuroken, and at this point I can't separate them from Bokuaka Kuroken, so they would automatically be living in my head rent-free. Now please allow me to briefly explain why I love every pairing. Bokuro is great. Like, they already have the bromance, we know this. They have the chemistry, it's just a little push to make it romantic. You cannot tell me that they are not the kind of friends who would make out, you know, just to try it. Why not? Let's just try it. Then we have Akaken, they're so cute. Like, quiet solidarity, Akashi caring for Kenma, but like in a different way than what he does for Bokuto. It's just so cute. And Bokuken, they're so sweet. Bokuto is such a sweetheart. And Kuroaka, the aesthetic is very on point. They're both very pretty. They would be the responsible ones when Bokuto's not around to taint Kuro. And of course, all together, they are gorgeous. Just imagine the cuddles. They're the best. Please consider Bokuaka Kuroken. Next up we have Kuroken. Now, I'm about to contradict what I just said and put Kuroken in heart eyes. Let me tell you why. Kuroken in Bokuaka Kuroken is definitely living in my head rent-free, but Bokuaka and Kuroken are the only ones that I can still somewhat separate from Bokuaka Kuroken, and Kuroken on its own has never lived in my head rent-free. I do think they are very cute though, but if you asked me like 6 months ago, they would have been lower. Again, with the numbers thing, 1 and 5, they don't stand next to each other, not canon. The main reason is that I really relate to Kenma, and when this happens, I have a hard time seeing them experience romantic and sexual attraction because I don't experience those things. It wasn't until I thought about demisexual Kenma, where I was like, actually, yeah, this could work. I started to like Kuroken. It just makes sense, you know. They're very canon. They're very cute together. Next we have Kurodai. Now, I don't really understand this one. It's gonna have to go in no. It's not very popular in Western fandom, but I did notice a lot of doujinshi. Like when I was looking for Daisuga stuff, I was like, oh, it's Daichi. Why is he with Kuro? Like, they don't interact that much. I guess they do have some kind of a relationship, but, you know, Daichi belongs with Suka. And there are so many better Kuro ships. Bokuga Kuroken. So, yeah, I just don't like it. Now, if it was Bokurodai, I might consider it. Next, we have Kurooi. Remember when lots of people were making Kurooi vids a few weeks ago? Where did that come from? I mean, they've never met. But, you know, I guess they would get along. Maybe if I watched the videos, I would be convinced. I mean, I have nothing against it. You can go there. Why are there so many Kuro ships? Like, I've got, what, 4? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 Kuro ships in here. Why does Kuro get shipped with everyone? I guess straight people find him hot? I don't know. Next we have Kurotsuki. It seems to be a bit less popular now, but like a couple of years ago, I feel like everyone shipped it. There are a lot of fan art and fanfics about them. I guess I can maybe see it, like they interact. Kuro helps him like volleyball, he calls him Tsuki, but that's about it. I'm not sure if Tsuki actually likes Kuro, but either way, Tsukiyama and Kuroken are just a lot better. And my Bokuga Kuroken brain doesn't like it. It changes the whole dynamic. I don't really ship him with any of them, but I do with Kenma. Kenma fits in there perfectly. I'm gonna put them in no. I don't really like seeing the ship, so no. Kuroyachi. Why? I don't think a lot of people ship this, but I've seen fan art come up on my Pinterest, so it exists. Like, their only interaction is Kuro being polite and Yachi being scared of him. I know some people like to confuse fear with tension, but this is not it. When I was looking for fan art of this, I felt like it was trying to be Kuroken but straight, which is just unnecessary. Just have Kuroken. It's a no. Kagehina. I feel like this is the ship that everyone ships just because it's the most popular and it's the main characters, but it's not really that great. I mean, I'll put it in, it has potential. When I was going through my doujinshi phase, I read most of the ones on the website. I read all the Kagehina ones. I mean, I enjoyed it, I guess. I haven't shipped it for a long time. Kageyama used to be my favourite character when I first watched Haikyuu, but I've since moved on. I mean, I can see it. It's quite canon. Like, Kageyama gay panics whenever Hinata compliments him, and like, he doesn't want to see Hinata doing cool things, like in season 4. It's like, did you see my awesome receive? And Kageyama's like, no, I cannot see. So it has potential, but there's just so many better ships. Next we have Kyohaba. I'll be honest, I don't really remember them interacting. Or just Yahaba at all. I don't really like Kyotani either. He's scary, and he doesn't really fit the Seijo vibe. I mean, I could put it in no, but I don't really have a reason not to like it. If I gave it a chance, it could probably be alright, so I'll put it in, I'll put it there. Now Matsuhana, they're so much fun. They're just silly boyfriends who like to meme and make fun of Oikawa. Whenever I do a boyfriend challenge, they're always one of the first responses I think of. I wish they were more popular because they're great. Just solid heart eyes, man. Narikino, The Forgotten Second Years. I don't have a lot of thoughts on these two. Like, they're forgotten, so they don't get a lot of character development. There's been a little bit more for Kinoshita in season 4, but I still can't say I like him. Whenever he comes up to serve, I'm like, what about Yamaguchi? And Narita still has, like, no character development. Again, I can't really comment much on their relationship, but they're definitely good friends. There's also, like, it's probably just people making mistakes, but sometimes their numbers swap. Matsuhana does this too. It's like, oh, swapping jerseys with your boyfriend, huh? Yeah, I have nothing against it, but I don't really like it, so yeah. Next we have Oisuga. Again, this is one that I saw when I was looking for Daisuga stuff. I'm not really sure why this ship exists, but, you know, I feel like they would get along. And they're both pretty, that's a bonus. I just love Suga, even though I think he loves Daichi. Unlike where Daichi has to be with Suga, I could be open to Suga not with Daichi. You know, I have nothing against it. Osasuna, this is a tricky one. There's not much to go off. Like, I was looking out for it when I was watching season 4, and like, they just didn't interact. Like, there was that one scene where the twins were fighting and Suno was taking pics, which was something, but it's not really Osasuna. Yeah, they might be friends, but there's not really anything to go off from the canon. Like, even in Fanon, there's still not a lot there. Like, they don't really have a relationship dynamic. I don't know, just like, where's the flavour? I mean, yeah, they're both pretty, but that's not the only reason you need to ship something. Yeah, I don't know, they're borderline between no and don't like it, nothing against it. I guess I do have something against it, because I complained about them a lot. But it's not really on the level of the other ones. Maybe I'll put it there. Sakuratsu. I know a lot of people like Sakuratsu, but again, they don't really interact much in canon. I know there's a lot more in the manga. So far, from the anime, I don't really remember them interacting. Like, my only memory is Omi Omi, which might be mixing with my memory of Semi Semi. So, I don't know what's real and what's not at this point. It might just be that I don't remember the whole first half of season 4, because I've only seen it once, and I might be trying to block out what they did to poor Asahi. Anyway, I mean, they at least have a relationship dynamic, even if it's just Iwaoi, but germaphobe. I mean, this is borderline too. Borderline has potential, don't like it, nothing against it. I mean, it definitely has less potential than Arankita, but more than Osasuna. Yeah, I'll put it in as potential, purely for the manga. Next we have Semi Shida. This is another one where I don't really remember them interacting, so I don't have a lot to go off. I've seen season 3 like 2 times, probably. I remember a few characters, but not a lot about these two. I don't remember seeing the ship when I was watching it, but I wasn't looking out for it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything against it. It can go there. Tsukiyama. I like Tsukiyama. I like Yamaguchi, and I like Soft Tsukishima. It's very canon. Yeah, I don't really have much to say. They're just a good, solid ship. Very nice. Now, Tsukihina. Hinata's another one that gets shipped with a lot of people, and I'm not sure why. Tsukihina, they don't really like each other. I know there's the whole enemies to lovers thing, and if it happens in the canon, like they become friends, then sure. But if they canonically just don't like each other, and part of the ship is you have to make it so they do like each other, then I don't know. It's not for me. It's gonna be a no. Which move back there, thank you. Next we have Ukatake. Now, it's alright. I can't say I really like either of the characters. Like, their character development doesn't really go that deep. But they do have some kind of relationship. It kind of gets ignored once Ukai becomes coach though. I don't know, it's just kind of boring. But I don't have anything against it, it can go there. Now, Ushiten, I can see it. They have a pretty good relationship. And everyone likes Tendo, he's pretty fun. Ushijima, he's alright. I mean, he's good for the plot, but as a character, I can't say I like him that much. I see a lot of people saying that he's hot. I'm gonna have to say no thank you. He's very masculine, and that kind of scares me. Ushijima is fine though. Yeah, I like their relationship, but Ushijima scares me, that's pretty much it. It has potential. Yakulev. I'm not really sure about Yakulev. I haven't really made up my mind. I'm not sure if they like each other. Like, Yaku's a bit of a tsundere with Lev. And I guess Lev likes Yaku when he's not being mean to him. Not that he really seems to mind. I want to say Diefu, because that's how they say it in Japanese. But, like, reading it in English, it's definitely Lev. I wonder how you're supposed to pronounce it in Russian.
Liev.
Dief. Oh, it is. It is more like Diefu. Interesting.
Liev.
What's that L doing?
Liev.
Anyway, I'm not really sure how their relationship would work, but, you know, it definitely has potential. If I got into it a bit more, I'm sure I could like it. Yamayachi. Now, I very rarely enjoy seeing straight relationships, but if I really like both of the characters and their relationship, I could enjoy it. Now, I like Yamaguchi, and I like Yachi, and I think their friendship is cute. But they're both very gay. Now, I personally headcanon them both as gay and not bi. But if they were in a relationship, they would be like, you know, those bisexual couples, where it's a man and a woman, but they're both bi. And it's the most queer, straight-passing relationship you've ever seen. Bone Glimmer. That would be Yamayachi. So, I mean, I don't hate it, but they're both gay, you know? And last but not least, Yukie and Kaori, aka those two managers from Fukurodani. I don't even know if they have a ship name, I couldn't find one. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I need more women-loving lemon ships in my life. If Fukurodani was the main focus of Haikyuu, I would definitely ship these two. I know I'm not going off of much here, but trust me on this, they have potential. Okay, and that was our last ship. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for 10k. Thanks for watching. Suga closing the door. Bye! Do that with what you will. What? Did that make sense? Do with that what you will. Do with that what you will. Okay. This has been living in my head rent-free. Oh no. I scrolled. Okay, let's just do that again. He's very popular in the canon. What? No, in the fandom. What? But I did notice there were a lot of doujinshi. But I did notice there were a lot of doujinshi. Why do I want to say doujinshi? Doujin. But I did notice a lot of doujinshi. Am I doing it again?